Hi, my name is Deborah Warwick, and I did my paper on how attachment styles shape early adult relationships, which basically means that the way we are treated as children will affect how we think, feel, and act in relationships as adults. One thing I learned is that it's not just what happened in childhood, but how a person felt about it. Two people can go through similar situations but feel completely different about them, and it's those feelings that will shape how they act in relationships later on. A simpler way to explain this is parenting behavior plus how a child feels equals the attachment style, which then leads to how they will act in future relationships. Another thing I learned is that anxiety in relationships can actually start in childhood, which would be them like wondering to themselves if people will stay or thinking they need to hold on tighter to people. Well, fast forward to that person older and in a relationship that is healthy. Well, not, I wouldn't say healthy, but there's nothing wrong going on in their relationship. But you'll that person will be worrying a lot, overthinking everything, feeling like the person might leave. And it all stems back from their childhood. And lastly, overparenting is another thing I learned about, which I knew it was a thing. I just didn't really think about how it would affect so, you in your later years in relationships. And I found it really interesting. So let's get to what overparenting is. So, overparenting is doing for them, but more not in a really, really extreme way, but just doing things that they can do on their own, like making their bed or doing their homework, and then controlling them, which would be making choices for them that they can make. Like, say, what are they going to wear for that day? Picking out their clothes, or choosing which subjects they're going to do, and then protecting them. Yes, we all want to protect our children, but there are times when you shouldn't protect them. They need to learn, they need to fail, they need to experience life. But when you do these things, which would be overparenting, the way it affects them as adults is they are too dependent on others. They'll avoid problems, they'll struggle with adult responsibilities, and which really isn't fair to them because it's just how they were raised. We learn our core things in childhood, and it's kind of hard to learn it when you're older. But all in all, I'd say I learned a lot from my paper. Thank you.